Hi, my name is Akiva Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman & Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan, and today we're going to continue our video series, which is designed to educate and inform the public, so please subscribe to our channel. Today I want to talk about an aspect of alimony, and what I'm really referring to is the opposite of what you might think. Not how to get alimony, but alimony termination, ending alimony. Well, alimony, or what lawyers call spousal support, presumably based on the notion that the parties were together a long time, that there is some support that's owing to the spouse. And, it used to be in old judgments of divorce, parties would put alimony in, and we had distinctions between periodic alimony and alimony in gross, and then there were distinctions about whether or not alimony should continue until death or remarriage or some significant change of circumstances. Most of your judgments nowadays continue alimony until further order of the court based on a change of circumstances. So what does that mean? That means if you're going to have, let's say, a long-term marriage and there's a judgment of divorce, the judgment's going to say that alimony is going to be paid until further order of the court, and the further order of the court only comes when there is a significant change in circumstances. So what is it that might cause your existing alimony order to terminate, either in part or altogether? And the answer is that if there is some significant change in circumstances, the court will look at alimony and determine whether or not it's still appropriate to have it. And if it's still appropriate to have it, is it appropriate to have it at the same level? So, for example, the court might look at a change in circumstances of a guy who's, let's say, making $60,000 a year. And so there's alimony based on that. And now all of a sudden, hours have been cut, layoffs have been had, and now the guy is making $25,000 a year. In a situation like that, it's a significant change in circumstances. Income has been cut by more than half. In that circumstance, the court may order either no alimony, or the court may suspend it, or the court may say, you know what, we're going to modify it from $500 to $200. The court has the discretion and the ability to do that based on a significant change. Another significant change might be, for example, where the ex-husband's salary is the same, but wife, who was making $20,000 when they calculated it, now she's making $120,000. So now the question is alimony appropriate, and at what level? And the court might find that ability to self-support in a way that's twice as good as the payor might well justify a termination of the alimony. So there are all sorts of things that the court might consider in determining that. When you're faced with a situation where somebody says, look, I'm not in a position to pay you alimony anymore, we're going to be filing a motion to terminate that, you got to get with your lawyer and say, look, this is what he told me, this is the circumstances, I believe this to be true, where do we go from here? Does it pay to fight it? Can we negotiate something? Maybe it's better that we negotiate just a temporary suspension until someone gets back on their feet or something like that. Maybe that's the way to go. To spend money requesting an evidentiary hearing, filing all sorts of responses and replies, doing all that and throwing thousands of dollars at it might be the way to go, but might not be the way to go. If you believe that, let's say the person was injured and now their hours have been cut, and you know that that's the case. You were at the hospital at the time. You know that there's a restriction. It might pay to stipulate to a reduction in the alimony or a temporary suspension rather than spend money going through it with your lawyer. So it would be worth the money to sit down with your lawyer, have him go through all the facts and circumstances in this would-be motion and get some guidance on whether or not we should spend, thousands of dollars fighting this, or whether or not we should try to put a stipulated order together that A, saves money, and B, addresses the new circumstances that you now have. If you have any questions about that, reach out and we'll be glad to help you out.